Hi all. Okay. In this video, we will focus on pzInsKey. Okay. I'll take this. What is my focus here? pzInsKey. So pzInsKey is nothing but it is a unique value to identify the properties. Okay. Let me open the Pega. Hmm. So it's loading. I'm sorry. Okay, let it load. So what I'm trying to say here is first, we have discussed what is PX, what is PY, what is PZ, and how it will work, right? PX and PZ are system generated, and PX we can use it, but we are unable to, do the changes or give the values. PY we can give the values. PZ it's only for system purpose. We should not use in our development. Okay, it will generate automatically. It will generate the values automatically when you create the rule in the Pega. Whatever you create, that is the rule only. Whatever you create in Pega, that will be stored as a table format in the backend in the database, and it will be rule. It will be the rule only. So, for example, see, where are we? I'll close this. Okay. For example, I'll create one property here. I'll create one property. Property created under the category of application data model property. Okay, everything whatever we created in Pega, mm, I'll name it as A, B, C, something I'll name it. Okay, create and open. Anyways, I'll delete it. So we have created one property, right? So it's created in version 3. So everything we created under Pega is called, it's stored as a table format only. That will be properties are stored under which category? So properties are under stored in the table of rule of is a property. Okay, I'll show you in the database. First, I'll show you that one in the rules table. Okay, so first we will talk about work table. So where are we? We are in work class. So if I go here and definition, this is key. So this PYID is called class key. Okay, class key is different, primary key is different. What is primary key? I wrote the definition, don't worry. PK means primary key. Here I have opened our data table, our work table only. See, our work table only I have opened. In that, you can see PK at pzInsKey key. PK means primary key. Okay, primary key. From this, we can fetch the data. But what is class key for this work table? For this work table, if you go to our Pega, in right click here and go to definition, right click definition, then you can see the key. PYID is the class key value. See, I'll write here. One second, let me delete these things. So, primary key is different, class key is different. PZINS key is the primary key for all the work tables. Okay, whereas class key is the primary key for data tables. Okay, I'll show you the difference. Let me delete this. Don't get panic, it's easy only. Hurry, or how many pages it is? Let it be. I'll write here. It will go automatically. Okay. So here primary key. Primary key is pzINS key. Okay. I'll copy. pzINS key is the primary key for all the work tables. All the work table, rule tables, whatever you take, pzINS key will be the primary key. But pzINS key will be the primary key. For class key is nothing but the unique value we selected from the class, that is called class key. Okay. I think I have written the differentiation here. Yes. What is class key? A logic key defined by the developer in the class rule to uniquely identify the records within the class. Okay, for that we have defined this class key value. Primary key means the database level key column, usually pzINS key that uniquely identifies each record physically in the table. Okay. Who will develop the class key? Developer will define the class key. And the primary key will be defined by the Pega system. By default, it will be the pzINS key only. In keys tab, we will define PYID. PYID and student ID, these things we have defined, right? Customer ID. Okay, these are the class keys. It will be defined by database level primary key. Okay. To fetch this, obj open, obj save, these things will be used for class keys. To fetch the pzINS key, we will use obj open by handle. I'll show you the demo on this as well. Okay. Primary key cannot be modified because it is system generated. Class key can be modified because we are defining it. It is unique within that class. It is unique across the all the tables. Customer ID, PYID are the examples for class keys. pzINS key is the example for primary key. Okay. See, if you open any table, not only this table, I'll just copy this. There it is. All right. If we go to the database, see, if you click on here, PK means primary key, right? So right click, click on properties, click on properties, go to columns. Okay. Go to columns. You can see primary key. Okay. Why it is stuck? Active at pzINS key. Active means yes. pzINS key is the primary key for here. Okay. So let me open another table. Okay. What we say that work table we will open. Mm, alright. So I'm going to open another table. In that, I'm going to fetch these two details. Okay. We'll run it and see. PYID is not there because we did not define PYID in framework application. Okay. If we define it, it will show. But pzINS key is only the primary key. If you click here and go to properties and click on columns, where it will be the active at pzInsKey, that prime key column is active. Okay, so take any table, it will be same only. Okay, see, I'll open this customer table, we'll see. Okay, I'll open this customer table. So customer ID is the primary key. Here the primary key is not pzInsKey. Do you know why? I just told you the reason. For data tables, primary key is different. Primary key is the class key which we defined at the development level. See, for all work tables, primary key is the, I'll write here, then only you will understand, right? For all the work tables and other tables, primary key, my way is not working very good. So just adjust that, small and capital. Primary key is pzInsKey. pzInsKey. But for all the data tables, primary key is primary key is nothing but class key. Okay, what is class key? Okay, sorry, what is class key? So I just shown you the table. If we go to the database table, customer details table. So I'll open data types, customer details table. I showed you, right? Right. Click here. Sorry. Click here. View definition. You can see customer ID is the key we have defined in this class. So if you go to the database, this customer ID becomes the primary key. But whereas in our work tables, so in our work tables, what is happening? In our work tables, if you go to definition, the primary key is PYID, but in the database, the sorry, in the work table, here class key is PYID, but if we go to the database, then what will be the primary key here in database? Simple. I'll open the table, then you will understand. Here the class key is PYID, but if we go to the database, then what will happen? What will happen? Control C. I'll copy this. I'll paste here. Now I'll execute this. Control C. Okay. Because I don't want to write the query again and again. Okay. See, Control V. So if we go to the work table, what is going to happen here? pzInsKey key is the primary key and PYID is the class key. But whereas in our data table, go to definition, View definition. Here key is customer ID is the class key. If we go to data table, uh, if we go to data table, then what will happen? All rows. Here customer ID becomes the primary key. Whereas in other tables, work table, what is happening? pzINS key is becoming the primary key and class key is different. In our data tables, class key and primary key are the same. That is nothing but our class key only. For data tables, pzINS key will not generate except data tables for all other tables. If you go to rules tables, see, these are all we opened from data schema. If we go to rule schema, okay, rule schema, rules tables, open any rule, okay, open any rule. Let me open one rule. Peer, rule obj we can open. Okay, rule flow we will open. Okay, anything we can open just for the tables. Where is that? New data, all rows. Okay, here what is going to happen? See, here also we will have pzINS key. Okay, here I'll only fetch pzINS key. We'll try to fetch like this. Sorry. We'll do one thing. Control C. Go here. Control V. Control C. Remove it. pzINS key, comma. PYID also will fetch. Oh, it's not copied properly. Maybe PYID is not there. See, yeah, PYID is not there. Why it will be there in rules table? Because PYID is our class key which we created in our work table. Okay. See, here in rules table also pzINS key only the primary key. Okay. But only for data table pzINS key and class key are different. pzINS key and class key are the class key, but for other tables pzINS key is the primary key and what we say that class key is the key which we defined at the development level. Okay. For okay, so let it be. Don't save it. What I'm trying to say here is class key difference is done. Next, we'll discuss on formatting. Okay, so let me open our work table. Okay, okay, I'll open work table, run it. So you just see the format of the pzINS key here. Okay, I'll copy two, three things, not more than two, three. Okay, so just you need to observe the difference. I'll write here. Format of pzINS key. pzINS key. for formatting we are checking. So what is this work table? See, this is work table, not data table. Okay. So how it looks like? So it is having two things. What is C300? This is PYID. What is this? This is instance class. So that means, see, instance class means the class which we are opening. The class key means the key which we defined as the primary key. The class key is the key which we defined in instance class. Okay, so what is instance class here? This this is the instance class and this is the ID. Okay, these are for work object. PZINSKey format for work object is instance class plus class key. Whereas, see, if we open data table, what will happen? I'll open data table. Okay, if we open data table, let me run the query. Cannot execute an empty query. This is not empty query, right? Okay, PYID is not there here because in that class I did not define PYID, right? I'll just execute pzInsKey. I'll see. This pzInsKey is not there. Why it is showing error means pzInsKey will not be there for data tables, right? So no need to think about data tables. So our focus is work tables and rules tables. So for work tables, what is the format? So for work tables, what is the format of pzInsKey? You just execute it. I'm just showing practically what is the pzInsKey format. This is having two things, work class and this PYID. C3002 means PYID plus work class. PYID plus work class is the combination for the PZINSKey. PZINSKey is the combination of PY work class plus work class is nothing but instance class in which we are checking PZINSKey. So PZINSKey is the combination of instance class plus PYID. PYID we can say work here. So PZINS key for the work object is nothing but instance class plus class key. Okay. So whereas format of PZINS key for rules, if we open any rules table, okay. So let me open one rules table. Rules table we have opened it, right? Hmm. Let it open. Instead of star, what we are going to give here is for rules there will be no PYID. PYID is nothing but we have defined that. Okay. So where is my data table? See, this format is different. This format is not like earlier. What is this format? You just observe this. This is work class and PYID. PYID nothing but class key value. But this is for what? For work object or work tables. Work tables pzInsKey format. So next this is for C. This is for rules table. Rules table. So everything we created in Pega is a rule. So these rules are belongings to some tables. Those I have mentioned here. Okay, here is that. An instance class is the specific class in which an object is created or stored in the database. So that is called instance class. For rules, what are the rule classes? For data transform, rule obj data transform. For activity, rule obj activity. Section, rule HTML section. Flow, rule obj flow. Case type, rule obj case type. So these are the for property. I didn't mention here. Rule obj property is the instance class for property. So if we create any property that will be stored in the table rule obj property. Okay. See, so where are we? We are here. As per the definition, first instant class. So if we create any property, so for example, take a class. I'm creating one property ABC. Okay, I'm creating a property ABC. So what is the format of pzInsKey key here? It should be like instance class means what is the instant class here? Right, it's why it is going here. What is the instance class here? Rule obj property. Rule obj property. Hmm, Sorry. Rule obj property. I want y. Where is that? See. Rule obj property. This is the instant class, and if I create a property, then what is the class key value here? You need to check that. So the class key value is nothing but when we create a rule, so there will be some class key. Let's take PYID. Okay, I'll mention PID is the class key. So what is the error here? If we create one more property, we can create. So yes, this is not PID. Sorry, where are we? So you understand, right? For work tables, it is different. Work tables, how it looks like instance class plus class key. Instance class is nothing but in which the rule is created. So that is for work tables, the work class will be the instance class. So it is the format like where is that I have given the example. So work class plus this is PYID. PYID is nothing but that class key value. Okay, you can say class key value. This is the definition for work tables. Whereas coming to the rules tables, how it stores is so same definition we will try to apply. Okay, for rule class also. So what is the definition? Instance class plus class key. So for rules table, I am checking, I am writing, right? Okay. for rules table, pzInsKey format, pzInsKey format, format of pzInsKey, how it looks like. So, hey, as per our definition, as per our definition, what is our definition? Instance class plus class key. It should be like this. Okay. It should be. Array, this file is corrupted. Okay. It should be like this. But see, what is rule? Everything we created in Pega is a rule. Let me take property. Okay. Property. Let me take property. This Y is not working. So, if we talk about property, what is the instance class? Instance class property. I just shown you the table. Instance class means the class in which we created the rule. Okay. Property is created under the class rule obj property. Rule obj property. So, the instant class of property is rule obj property. Okay, so as per definition, the format of pzInsKey key is Control C, instant class plus class key. Class key for work tables are different because we will define, but for rules it is rule name. Okay, see, I'll rule obj property plus class key is nothing but rule name. For example, I am writing, I am developing a property called ABCD. See, for example, ABCD is my property name. So here, how it will be? It will be like this. Oh, sorry, it is not copied. It should be like this. But class key is nothing but property name here. Okay, the rule name, we can say the rule name of the rule. So it should be like this, but the disadvantage is same property with the same name I can create in two classes. For example, let me take here, go to app. I have two classes here. IMPL classes here. Let me create here ABCD. Create data model property. Under which category I am creating? In RPAS class I am creating. ABCD is the property. Okay. Create and open. With the same name, shall I create the same property under RPAS work vehicle insurance class or not? We'll see. Data model, property, ABCD. ABCD. Shall I create it or not? Is it allowing me or not? It's allowing. So here the class is different. Here the class is different, but the property name is same. For the same property, I have created in two different classes. So for these two different classes, the pzInsKey key will be the same. So it means it is duplicating. So to avoid this, in between we need to add class key. Sorry, inst what we say that our present class, that is rule class. The rule class, we need to add rule class. Rule class is nothing but rule class is nothing but hmm, here we need to add it. Rule class is nothing but the class in which the rule is created. First we created in RPIS class, then after we created in RPIS IMPL. So for this for this value, for this property, the pzInsKey format is like this. Here rule class, the class name will come like RPAS, this all things, the stuff will come like this stuff will come. Am I able to copy? Mm. It will come like this. Okay. So mm, it will come like this. For this property, it will come only RPAS. Okay. Mm. For this, it will come like, for next one, it will come like, here also we have one disadvantage. I'll tell you that. Here also we will have one more disadvantage. What is the disadvantage? See, I have created this rule in version 3. With the same name, I can create the rule ABCD in next version also. That is the versioning concept. In that case, what will happen? We need to add one more here, one more here. That is nothing but versioning as well. So here we need to add version also. In the same version also we can create 31 rule types. So it is keep on increasing. To avoid that, instead of version, we are using create date time. So this is the formula. Final formula is px create date time. This is the final formula. To avoid all this stuff, what is final instant class? That means in which the rule is referring. For property, it is rule obj property. For section, rule html section, like that. For rule class means the class in which the rule is created. And class key is nothing but the rule name, like property section, whatever we are creating, that name, property name or section name, like that. Px create date time means when it is created. So if we go to database and see, this is the structure. Okay, this is the structure. uh, we'll open this. Okay, all rows. ఎన్నో వసంత వేళలలో వలపుల ఊయలలుగామే. It's loading, huh? Okay. ఎన్నో పున్నమి రాత్రులలో వెన్నెల జలకాలాడాం అందని అందల. See, this is the pzInsKey key. It is the primary key because this is not data class. Okay. So let me copy this and we'll see the structure. This is the structure. Okay, so instant class and rule class and create date time. That's it. Okay, for example, I'll take one more thing, flow. I'll open flow action. Let it be. See, actions, view XML, control F you can. How to find? Control F, pzINS. See, this is the pzINS key for this particular, okay, this particular table. So how it is looks like? Array, paste, no, it's not copied. Oh, it's not copying. Okay. See, instance classes, we have opened flow, right? So instant class is rule obj flow, and rule class is, this is the class in which we have created the rule, and class key is customer details flow, that is our flow name, and we have created on this particular date. To fetch this, by using activity also we can fetch. I'll show you in next video that thing. Okay, that is one practical thing I'll show you in next video. Okay, so this is the thing. If you go to any section, like not only flow action, not only flow, if you go to any section, go to section, you want to see here. Okay, go to actions. Okay, view XML, control F, pzINS key. Everything you created in Pega is a rule. It will be stored as pzINS key. See, this is the pzINS key format here. This is rule HTML section means instant class. The section is created under rule HTML section. What is this? Okay. And rule class means the class in under which the rule is created. This is created under work class. And class key means our section name, personal vehicle details section. We have named it as personal vehicle details section. Okay. See. Okay. And the format. And this is it, this time we have created that section. Okay, this is how the pzINS key format for rule classes. For data classes there is no pzINS key, so no need to worry. For work classes the pzINS key format is nothing but instance class plus class key. The rule class and create date time and these things are no, will not be there, because there is the only one key, and there is only one instant class. Okay, that is the thing. So in next video I'll show you how to fetch this value, this pzINS key value by using obj open by method. I think open, what is that, I just written here pj. Anything else to discuss? Nothing. Okay, that thing will be discussed in next video. Okay, that is nothing but pz open by a value, open by, I think, uh, I have just created document for it. That is called, what it is that, open by handle, sorry, obj open by handle. So how it will use and all I'll tell you later. Okay, I think I have created document for it. Simple. Obj open, when we use obj open means obj open we use when we know the class key value. If we don't know the class key, if we want, sorry, if we don't know the pzINS key, if we know the class key, we will use open obj open. If we know the pzINS key value, then we can use obj open by handle. How to do it, I'll show you the practical video in next session. Okay, until then, bye.